My name is Todd Speciale. I speak across the country. Been doing it for a lot of years, not because I have to, just because I love to impact lives. Today, we're talking about unblocking velocity, building ideas, promoting your ideas, starting to implement ideas that you may not have, and what stops you from actually doing it. Well, I started a consulting firm a little over 11 years ago. I don't have a college degree. I grew up in the streets. I've been robbed at gunpoint 3 times. I ran illegal card games for 10 years. I've been arrested for fighting. I filed bankruptcy in 1998. The list can go on and on and on and on and on. The reason why I share that with you guys is a couple things. See, a lot of us believe when we're starting an idea or starting with a company, or we feel like you have to have the dots next to your name. Last year in my consulting firm. And the reason why I did that is because it took someone to give me a plan of action. I had to kind of take a step forward and believe that I could do something, because most people in my circumstances where I grew up, I was a minority. I was selling vacuum sweepers door to door at 15 years old. Now, I'm not here to tell you about my story, but all the negative stuff I just spoke about earlier, it's the real. See, a lot of us go on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We've got all these fancy dots and profiles and these cool titles and all the crap. Here's what I'll tell you guys. None of that means anything. The only thing that matters is the person you are and the action you take to impact lives. Would you guys agree? Okay, here's the deal. You guys have a choice to take one step forward in life, or you can just stay stagnant. My father-in-law says that tomorrow's never promised. And I believe that the 3rd time. It took me 3 times to get robbed at gunpoint to believe that. First 2 times, I don't know why it didn't matter, but 3rd time I got there. My father-in-law said to me, son, you have to make a choice one day. You guys just sang for my youngest daughter. I have a 28-year-old and I have a 23-year-old. I have Christmas. My middle daughter's birthday is January 23rd. My youngest daughter's birthday is today. My oldest daughter, she turns 28 on the 12th. It's Valentine's Day on the 14th. My wife's birthday is March 2nd, and our anniversary is March 10th. So you could say I'm in trouble financially from Christmas all the way up until about March 10th. So as a man, as I was growing up, I said to myself, well, running illegal card games, making $10,000 a week, pulling rake-off poker games sounds great. Thought I was cool. Had no credit, didn't own anything. I lost everything multiple times and had to rebuild from scratch. But what I learned is that I had this thing called perseverance. And then I thought to myself, man, if I can't do poker, I can't do anything. That was 20 years ago. The reason why this is important for you guys to understand is because I don't know anybody's background in here. I don't know anything about you. I know there's a lot of people in this room that may have all the dots next to your name, and I respect that very much. You don't have to have a college degree, but what you need to have is life training. Because a college degree and all the accolades on the world will not allow you guys to take that step forward and move. And the problem is that some of us believe that there are things that are stopping us from making and creating ideas that can actually impact the company and you personally. So when I started a consulting firm, I was really good at sales. We broke records in multiple organizations. People kept asking me to come train sales, and then they asked me to come train leadership. We were building teams. And then I realized that if I don't know business, how can I get better? So I spent about 6 months with a CPA for a Fortune 50 company for free to learn how to read a P&L better than most. I know how to read a P&L better than most accountants do now because they didn't know anything about it. So I had to learn how to do it. I had to take that step forward and believe that I could. Now, anybody ever been in a bad place in your life? Maybe felt like unsure about yourself, maybe depressed, whatever. Here's the thing. When I got robbed at gunpoint the 3rd time, I was stuck in a bedroom, 10 by 10. I had a safe with a bunch of money in it. It was an inside job. They opened up the safe. They took every dollar and I had $0. Now, when I was running these card games, which was a business, it was an implemented idea. I thought I could do it. I did it. I created it. I ran it like a business. My father used to cater their food. We had waitresses. We started running them in small houses to penthouses in downtown Orlando, Florida. The vice president of Walt Disney World played in my card game. Sounds great, right? But I didn't own anything. Everything I told you earlier, the bankruptcy, the arrests, the fighting, the drinking, not being the best father, all the stuff that I went through, it built me for a reason. See, we've all gone through hard stuff, and I'm not here to teach you guys motivation. What I'm here to do today is show you guys that you guys have ideas in this room. Raise your hand if you have an idea that can make Pendo better. Raise your hand. Anybody have an idea? Okay. Raise your hand if you want to have an idea to help you get better in life or build a business in the future. Okay. It should be everybody. If we're sitting in this room and you guys aren't here talking an idea that can either help Pendo grow or you grow, you're in the wrong room. See, I'm not for everybody. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. And you're either going to love me or you're going to hate me. There's no in between. So when I go through this training today, I need you guys to do one thing. Just please be very real with yourselves. We're going to spend the next hour here, 45 minutes-ish, whatever, and we're going to talk about things that hold people back. And I'm going to give you guys the sauce, the secret stuff that isn't so secret, that's actually very simple, that can allow you guys to take the next step in your career. Anybody ever wanted a promotion before? Raise your hand. You want a promotion? You want to move up in a business? Are there any salespeople in the room? Any engineers in the room? Any project managers in the room? Any leaders in the room? You should raise your hand if you were all leaders. Everybody is a leader in this room. It doesn't matter what your title is. So we're going to talk about what this training is not today, okay? Right behind you on the screen here. Here's what this training is not today. It's not about work harder. It's not about a hustle culture. It's not about burnout, working longer hours, asking for permission to take the next step in life. It's not about that. It's not asking your leader for permission to start a new idea. A lot of people think just because you don't have the title that your ideas don't matter. Raise your hand if you've ever worked for a jerk before in your life, someone that you did not like. If you're not raising your hand, you are one of the lucky ones. Let's be real. I've worked for people in the past and I've worked with people. Does anybody know the difference? What's the difference? Someone's over here. What's the difference? Respect. What else? What else?
Collaboration.
Partnership.
Vibration, big. What else? Partnership. What else?
You're allowed to voice ideas. You're not just being told what to do.
That's right. People aren't directing you around. What else? Ownership, yeah. Here's the thing. A lot of leaders will tell you guys just to work harder, put in more hours. That's not what building ideas is. That's not what starting is. Well, I don't want to work on the weekends. Well, you got to get this stuff done. There's only 40 hours a week. I'll just work an extra 10, 15 hours. We don't pay overtime, but it'll be worth it. Just put the time in, take it away from your family. This is not what this is about. And I think a lot of people, when you look at me with all these tattoos, if you met me in a bar right now, raise of hands, who would believe that I own a consulting firm? Don't lie. Nobody. Weird. But one of you would have lied. I would have liked that. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you. Is it really about how we look? Is it about the dots? Or is it about effort? Or is it about working with people that actually care about who you are? We talked about vibration, you said. That thing, that energy, that is a very big thing. Okay, so we're going to play a game real quick. And I want everybody to stand up, please. Everybody stand up. This is called the excuse game. Remember we talked about being real today? I'm gonna ask you guys to be real and I want you to get engaged, or I'll pass around the microphone. The less engaged you are, the more I'm gonna call on you. If you walk out, I'll probably follow you and get you to come back in, so don't do that either. But this excuse game is a very real game. And what I want you guys to do again is be extremely honest. The only way you guys can learn from this today is pure honesty. Do me a favor. Don't let pride and ego get in the way. Don't do that. That's what stops most people from winning. So when I name an excuse or I call one out, if you said it before, you are to sit down. So the first excuse I'm going to start with is, I don't have the time. Usually gets like 90% of you. And that goes from, I'm too busy as well. I'm so busy, I just don't have the time. See, a lot of people usually think about it. Look, he's halfway. That's okay, stand up. You're fine, you're fine. I'm not sure if my leader or boss will like my idea. Got one person standing. No, I don't know if you're the boss, but when you walked in, he sat down. No, you're good. Let me ask you guys a question though. And I've got a microphone here. I want to pass it around. And I want you guys to tell me why I don't have time is a BS excuse.
I mean, hello?
Yes.
This was not mine, so
What was your excuse? Oh, your boss, right?
Second one. Sometimes I'm not confident that it will be impactful, my idea. So that's my maybe excuse. So I don't know how to frame it. It's like, it's not confidence. It's like I'm overthinking it probably.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not 100% sure it makes sense.
Think too much, right?
Yeah.
What's your line of work, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm a technical account manager.
Fair enough. Thank you. Give him a round of applause, guys. Thank you. Okay. What was your excuse?
I don't have time. I mean, we all have time. It's how we prioritize it, right?
Right. So let me ask you something. Do you have someone that you love very much?
Yeah.
You're here today. Are you required to be here or do you just come by choice? We're all required to be here, right? All right. If something happened to your family member right now, something serious, would you still be here or would you just get up and leave?
I would get up and
So time is only equal to really the impact of what's happening. Is that fair to say?
Yep.
Or what you get out of it, right? Because you need to be there. Is that fair to say? Pass the microphone, maybe person next to you. Sir, go ahead. What was your excuse?
The one about the boss.
Let's talk about that. Why is that important for you? And if your boss is in here, please leave. Thank you so much. No, go ahead. It's okay. Be real. That's what we're here to do.
Well, you're always doubting yourself, right? So it's, that questioning layer kind of creates paralysis, and that gets in the way.
That's correct. Yeah. Awesome. Passing behind you, somebody at that table. If you want to talk, talk. If not, keep passing behind. First of all, tell us your name too. Sorry, everybody here. Your name?
I'm John.
And where are you from, John?
I'm from here in Raleigh, Durham.
Okay. Can you turn the heat up, please?
In a few days.
I'm from Florida. We are not used to this, dude. I don't know what's going on. I can't wait to leave, but I love you guys. Go ahead. So what's your excuse and why is it important? And what do you think you can do to change that?
Yeah. I would say time was my excuse. Made me think about it a little bit there, though. It's important because I think time in general is important.
Yeah.
And what we do in each moment is important, and that focus is important. And what was your last question on that?
And what could you do to change that excuse from not happening again, do you think?
Realizing the importance of more than what I'm just focusing on in that moment and other things going on around the world and with other people.
Give him a round of applause. Can you pass the microphone up this way? Go ahead, just pass it up. We'll keep going. Thank you so much. Here's what this is going to be about today. It's about removing friction and move ideas. There's two things and two reasons that I've realized, and I've consulted for hundreds of organizations over the past decade, even though I don't look like it. I've sat in with CEOs that are worth $1 billion and more, and I've coached CEOs that are worth multi-millions of dollars. I can talk about cool stuff that I've done with all of them. It does not matter. They're just people. The title, the position they're in, at one point they made a choice to take an idea and move forward, and what they've all agreed on. This isn't my stuff. This training isn't something that Todd Speciale came up with today. These are things that CEOs of Fortune 50, 500 companies, Fortune 100 companies have all agreed on are the two biggest stops in anything: permission and protection. Somebody tell me what permission means. Do you have to ask for permission for your boss to implement a new idea? Raise your hand if you feel like you do. Ask for permission. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, 5. Be real, guys. What about protection? What does protection mean? How does that stop you from implementing your idea? Somebody talk about it. Well, what are you protecting? Job security? Maybe you come up with an idea and you're working for one of those jerks we talked about earlier, and your idea was better than theirs, and all of a sudden they think you're going to take their job, and you're like, oh God, and you might not have one. Maybe it's that. What else are you protecting? Reputation. Why is reputation important?
Well, I guess it will allow you to progress in your career.
Sure. But how can it affect your reputation if you implement a new idea? Failure. Whew. How many people love that word, failing? Actually, I love it. See, here's the thing. You implement a new idea, guys, and you're afraid of your reputation because you don't want to be judged. I don't care if you're in IT, if you're in sales, if you're new to Pendo. Listen, I've had people walk into organizations that I've consulted for that there's an 18-year-old kid that has a new idea they've implemented. It's made them multi-millions and millions and millions of dollars. Why is that important? Because the leaders, not bosses, there's a difference between the titles, actually listened and implemented the idea because they cared about that person's opinion. Now, I want you guys to be very real in here. There may be some leaders in the organization in this room right now. On a scale of 1 to 10, actually, those of you that think it's 1 to 5, 1 being not so much, 5 being maybe, that your leaders will support every single one of your moves. If it's 1 to 5, you're unsure if they will. That's kind of the unsure range. Raise your hands. Unsure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So a third of the room. The rest of you actually believe that your leaders will stand behind you in an idea. Raise your hand if you believe that. So if you've had an idea, the question you guys have to ask yourself is, why haven't you implemented it yet? So we're going to actually do something. A lot of you are sitting at a table, you probably know other people, and some of you may not know. But we talked about writing down one idea that you know would make an impact at Pendo. So I want you guys to take literally just 15, 20 seconds, write down in your scope of work an idea that you think would impact Pendo in a positive way. Everybody pull out your laptops, pen and piece of paper. I don't care what you do, write it down right now. One idea that you think would help within your scope. And even if it's outside of your scope, just an idea that you think could impact Pendo in a positive way. Write it down, put it in your phone, type it on a laptop. I don't care what you guys do. If I don't see you writing, you're the first person I'm gonna call out. I'm gonna give you guys 20, 30 seconds to do this. I want you to write down this idea that you think would impact Pendo in a very, very positive way. Make sure it's important to you. Doesn't have to be important to Pendo. And then do me a favor, raise your hand when you're done. Okay, 1, 2. If you're still thinking, that's fine. 4, 5, write them down. Very important. Thank you, sir. Sir, ma'am, thank you. Thank you. Ma'am, if you don't mind me asking, I'm going to bring the microphone over to you. Do you mind sharing your idea? Yes, you. Yes, ma'am. First of all, your name, what department you're in, and what your idea is, please. Thank you so much.
I'm Asta. I am in FP&A finance team. My idea is I feel like we should use financial tool we have at its max capacity. And I would like to spend some time on doing and working on that idea.
So what's the first step that you would take?
I need time.
Give her a round of applause. Thank you so much. Do me a favor, pass it to the gentleman. Yes, sir, you right there in the back, please. Name, department you're in, and your idea, please.
So, Paul, I'm with the Blank product team, sales there. We started looking at various rooms of the house, so selling our product to marketing to other revenue. I feel like we should refocus entirely on product builders and product managers.
So more or less, you feel like time isn't being wasted, but you could move some of your time slots into building things that you think will add a revenue.
It's more about our customer, our target customer, being laser focused on our original targets rather than diluting our attention.
Got it. Cool. Give him a round of applause. Thank you so much. Pass it back over there to somebody next to the wall over there. We don't want to leave you guys out. Thank you for being here.
Hey, I'm Bo. I'm in the sales organization, and I think that we could do a bit more product training on a regular basis.
Talk to me later.
Amen. So let me ask you this. What's the first step you would take to implementing product training, and what is your idea? I know it's something that you feel like you need more of, but how would you fix that?
So I'm super brand new for context,
Yes.
and I'm probably not knowing what I don't know, not the right person to ask, but I think that some sort of cadence, to set up a cadence of just getting into the product as a team.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say. Okay, I want you guys to hear something. We talked about this earlier about being new, about a $1 billion organization learning from an 18-year-old kid with an idea. You can hang on to it because I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think your idea matters even though you're new? Because see, a lot of people think that. They say, I'm new, so I'm not sure I'm the right person to talk to. But what if you are?
I think being new, you get additional perspective that might not be here yet.
So you just defined what consulting is. See, you're in sales, right? Raise your hand if you're in sales and you're again. Do you guys know the top 5 objections that you receive all the time from any new prospects? Okay, what else? I'm not the right person. What else? Not the right time. What else? I'm sorry? No money? Right? Yeah, don't have money. What else?
Oh, I was just saying too expensive.
Too expensive. So we got money. I'm not the right person. Not the right time. What else?
Something already.
Yeah, we're fine. We're already using something. What else? Don't trust you. Love that. Do we all in this room, if you're in sales, believe that's the top 5 objections? If you're in sales, yes or no?
Like, do we hear those?
Yeah, you believe those are the top 5 you hear the most of the time? Okay, I'm not going to call you guys up because this isn't a sales training. But if I were to go to you or the new guy and ask him how to handle that objection in one sentence or less, could you do it? And if you say yes, I will call you out. Because in front of your peers, it's harder to actually get trained and role play than it is on the phone or when you're speaking with somebody. Does everybody know why? I'm sorry? Yeah, here. Love that. Does anybody know why? Because they don't know you messed up. Say that again.
Hear more about what your peers think. than-
Of course. And you get judged in front of your peers, right? When I first started speaking, doing trainings over a decade ago, when I got in the room, I was shaking like this. I didn't know what to say. I used to wear a suit and tie because I felt like that was the right thing to do. Listen, I don't care if this is for you or not. This is who I am as a man, okay? This is just me, and that's okay. You don't have to agree with how I feel or how I think. But I can tell you that you get judged more in front of your peers than you do anybody else, because no matter who you're speaking to, within your organization, the reason why a lot of ideas don't start, that protection part, you're protecting yourself when you're role playing. You're unsure, did I say it the right way? Did I read the script appropriately? Was my tonality okay? Did I block the objection? Did I handle it? If you're asking if you're the right person, you shouldn't be asking, because that answer is yes. You are the right person. Because if Pendo as a whole, and they may not ever have me come back for saying this, but if Pendo as a whole, if the training isn't to where you know the cadence that you're asking about in your training, it isn't set in stone, and you have someone that you can work with on your training, and you don't have the product knowledge within a certain period of time, they're doing you and their company a disservice. So that sounds like, to me, if someone believes it's a concern, is it a concern? Yes or no? Why is it? It could be one person. But if one person believes it's a concern, it matters. And that's where ideas get stalled. Because I get a lot of that a lot of times where someone will come in and say, I'm new. It's not my place to give them an idea, but it actually is. And companies miss that so bad. That's why we do internal surveys when people start, and we do exit surveys at companies, because it's very important to learn. You want the real. Todd was a jerk. I hated working for him, and I couldn't stand his voice, and I hate tattoos. Well, Pendo's got to learn from that. It's not to fire Todd, it's to train them. It's to train that person to say, hey, listen, dude, be a better person. We have you in a leadership role for a reason. Or onboarding. How important is onboarding in an organization? It's extremely important. So if you have an idea, you have to implement it. One more pass. Pass it to this table over here, sir, if you don't mind, right over here. Tell me what your idea is real quick.
I'm the first guy for the French market. My idea was to organize even more events for the French market, so in France, to get more visibility, and because it's not really like known.
Yes, sir. Fair enough. So what's the first step you would take to do that?
So what I'm
Besides make time?
So what we've started to do is to participate to some like product fair first, and also to try to build some partnership with famous newsletter or famous product magazine.
Yes, sir.
For instance. So yeah, we start doing it.
So what's the first step you have to take, though, to start your idea right now? If you were to start it right now. See, don't answer that.
Action.
Fine, action. What action?
Research events.
Research events, first great step. Research other events that are similar. What can you do to create an event that the people actually want to be at? You have to have an idea first, and you have to write it down. See, a lot of us have ideas, and the reason why I didn't want him to finish the answer is because we talk about an idea, and we say, create more time. Guys, that's an easy way out. Okay, fine, you have to create more time. Look at your schedule. How many people live and die by a calendar in here? Raise your hand. That's okay if you don't. You don't live and die by a calendar, right? Sir? Yeah.
No, I do not.
That's okay, and I love that. That's honesty. Here's the thing. My business partner, he's a very analytical dude. He's an Excel spreadsheet guy. When I started my business, my first idea was a consulting firm. The second was I need to find someone who can do all the crap that I can't. That's really good at what I'm not. And he's the best at what I'm not. He is a live and die by calendar guy. I was not. And I started missing meetings. And I kept telling him every day I wake up and I go, hey, Brandon, when is the next meeting? He goes, bro, check your calendar. Why don't you use a calendar? Well, start. But the meeting's today at 1:15. That went on for about 2 weeks. And Brandon finally said, if you miss the meeting, then you miss the money. So you're going to start using a calendar, because when you call me, I'm just not going to answer. I'm not going to tell you when the date is. So what did I have to do? Action sounds easy, but I had to actually start by opening a calendar and learning how to add an event, as simplistic as that sounds. But see, sometimes we think that ideas need to take big moves, and that's not the case. Sometimes it's the small moves. So what we're gonna do next is you're gonna pair with someone you don't know. I don't care if you turn to them and they're next to you, you are not pairing with someone that you do know. And I want you guys to come up with 3 things. You already have the idea, what's an impactful idea. You're gonna go role play back and forth. Not really role play, you're gonna talk back and forth. One person's gonna listen. Just to be clear, if you give them advice, you are stalling their idea. We'll talk about that in a minute. Don't give them advice. You're gonna listen. And you're gonna go over these 3 things. You're gonna ask them, what is your impactful idea that you haven't started yet? I want you to write down what the block is, and I'm gonna call on you. So write down, what is the block? What's stopping me from actually starting the idea? Now, here's the thing. We played the excuse game earlier. I don't wanna hear, I don't have the time. Yes, you do. You're lying to yourself. We all have time. It's what you wanna do with it. If blocking is, I'm just not motivated. No. Like, what is something that's actually stopping you from moving forward? Not that I have to take the kids to practice. I wanna know what's blocking you. I'm working with a leader that I don't feel confident will take my idea and listen to me when I share it with them. That's my block. I'm brand new. I'm not sure if my idea matters. I don't have the experience in my department, so I'm not sure that I'm the right person to talk to. Whatever your block is, I want you to do that. Finally, the truth. What's holding you back professionally and personally? Guys, this is where I want you to get deep with your idea. What's actually stopping me? The block is within the organization. The truth, I want to hear something personally that's stopping you from actually taking action in your idea. So grab someone, turn to someone you do not know, and flip. You guys got 90 seconds each. Turn to someone right now, start it out, follow this. Share the idea of someone you do not know. Right now, please. And if you have a 5th at a table, we have a gentleman here, you can just stop and share with somebody. Remember, what's the idea? What's the block? And on the block, was it permission or protection that blocked you? All right, back to your original seats. Thank you guys so much. Give yourselves a round of applause for that exercise, please. Okay, who wants to share first? Okay, name, department, where you're from, please, and then your idea.
Sure. I'm Jen. I'm here in Raleigh. I'm in the enterprise sales team. Do you want you want me to
Yeah.
share my idea?
Yes, please. Yep.
Okay, I'm actually piggybacking off of, I think, I'm also new, about 2 months, and my idea was specific to some of the training formulas that we have. It was a great experience overall, but there was one activity we had to do that was the most impactful, where we had to actually pitch, like we do something called the value hypothesis, where it really focuses us on learning about our customers before we talk to them and articulating the business. And it was the most impactful piece because it was the first type of training materials we were given where we had to actually not just sit back and listen, but actually, okay, I'm absorbing what we've been told, and now I have to pitch and present this to executive leaders and to be recorded and scored for training. So my idea was that was so impactful, and I think there were more pieces of the training where we should have been doing more hands-on work, more practicing of the products, more practicing of our dashboards, our tools, our AI things. And again, you have to listen and absorb, and you have to find, time.
As in pitching and using the tools, correct? As a new salesperson.
Because it was a very safe place in training to be, I can ask a dumb question. I don't know how to, or I have a question about this segment of our product, or how to demo this piece. So it was more the applicability of how much, like, I learned in that one activity. I think that can be applied to more of the areas of the training. I think the block is, I'm new. Now I know that's not a block, but
Yep.
I felt like I don't know where to go. I did give, we give feedback in the training, probably not direct enough. I think it's a little bit of self-preservation. Am I supposed to do this kind of thing? I'm
Yeah.
falling out of line. I'm just going to stay in line. And yeah, so that's probably more of the truth, like a little bit more self-preservation and uncertainty about where to go with it. And is, the imposter syndrome, is this valuable to other people? Maybe this is just my experience.
I love that. Give her a round of applause, by the way. That's amazing. So to kind of dial into that, could you tell me what the block was? Was it self-preservation, or was it she's unsure whether it's the right time to speak to someone about her opinion? What was the block? You're not 100% enabled. You nailed it, sir. That's a block. Now, the self-preservation is more the truth, right? You're like, I don't know about you guys, but oh no, I just got a new job. I don't want to lose it, right? Let's talk about that for a minute. So what would you do? What's the first step you would do to move forward with your idea right now, today? What should you do?
I connected really well with the facilitator of the training. She's incredible at it, and I feel like she would be just someone I should just go talk to.
Love that.
Now I'm pitching, I'm feeling like really comfortable in this area. I feel like, you know, can I share an idea?
And do you have her email?
Yeah.
First small step, send her an email. Do you guys see how like granular that you have to get when you're trying to implement an idea now, giving you guys a little bit of the head start before we take this next training here that we're going to do that's really going to help you guys impact the idea? See, a lot of us believe that we have to make time or put in more effort or wake up early or do these things that you really don't have to do. This isn't about hustle mentality. Let me tell you something. I love motivational speaking. I hated it back in the day. I believe that if I can touch one person's life in an audience, then I've won no matter where I go. I also believe that there's going to be 30% of the people in every room that I've ever gone to, and I spoke at hundreds of events. I just got back from Phoenix. I spoke with 4,000 people. I start off every event by saying this. There's going to be 30% of you in the room today that are going to think that I am full of crap. And those of you that do, I've tried to help you every single time I come to an event, but it just still somehow, there just happens to be 30% of you who walk out and see this guy's full of it. And I don't know why. So I'm asking you guys, could you help me figure that out? And I got audience engagement. You guys, well, people just don't like motivational speakers, bro. Maybe they don't like you because you're not wearing a suit. You're not wearing a Versace tie and the nice shoes and all this other crap. I'm just like, okay, what else? See, we have to be open to take constructive criticism regardless of who we are as an organization or what our title is. Because you know what the title is? What's your name, sir? It's Nat and Todd. Those are the titles. What's your title at Pendo?
I'm a lead content marketer.
Okay. I'm a CEO, co-founder, motivational speaker, inspirational specialist, sales, leadership, and trainer development. God, it sounds so stupid. It's Todd and Nat. Those are the titles that matter. And if you don't feel comfortable that you can actually go to the leader, and I'm not saying you can because it sounds like you can, to that leader. You guys in this room, if you have a leader you can't go to a different leader. Go to someone else and talk to him about it, because you're not doing Pendo any favors or you any favors if you have an idea that someone's not open and willing to listen to your idea to implement it. Yes or no? See, here's the truth. See, a lot of us, our block is, I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to step on toes. I don't think it's the right time. I'm too new. Maybe my idea isn't going to be a good one. I'm afraid of judgment. Personal, that's the truth, right? I'm afraid of judgment. I'm afraid of failure. I want to be looked at as someone that they can promote in the future. If I come up with a dumb question or stupid idea, which I hate those terms because there is no dumb question or stupid idea, then maybe they won't look at me as for promotion in the future. See, those are the truths of a problem. But if you guys can't be open and honest with your idea and actually implement a small, impactful move forward by sending an email, then you're never going to implement the idea, because scarcity is going to hold you back. You're going to be scared, and you don't want to do that. Scared does not move anything forward. Sir, what was your idea? Truth and block, please.
No, the idea, we cater to the product management community of finding products. So we also have sponsors. Pendo is one of our sponsors. But there's a bunch of other sponsors that are potentially give us money. The idea is to have a scaled executive leader series, like 10 to 12 people all across the country and world with sponsored dinners. The block I felt was, I felt like it was kind of permission from myself to do it. And this is kind of true as well. I got the sense that maybe I'm from more of an entrepreneurial background, and what would have driven me before to go try something else. Now I can not do something. It's like permission to not do something. So it's a bit lazy actually.
I love that. That's a lot of truth though too. Somebody tell me what the truth was that hit you the hardest in what he just said. Permission to himself. Man, that one hit hard. Thank you so much. Give him a round of applause for his honesty. See, I think when we're talking about ideas, you guys are going to think, well, Todd's going to tell me how to just create a new business plan and write it down. That's not what this is about. A lot of times it's about you giving yourself permission to take that next step forward, but you can't. See, I had to. When I was depressed, locked in a room for 12 months, I slept 12 hours a day. I cried the other 12. Anybody remember MySpace? Anybody remember that? I remember MySpace. Dude, I had the most depressing song on MySpace ever. And like, I logged in like literally 9 years ago. I couldn't believe I logged in. And I almost started crying again. Like, I was like, what am I doing? I was so depressed. But I had to give my permission to myself at one time. And sometimes it takes a little kick in the rear end, doesn't it? See, 2017, July 25th at 7:31 p.m. This guy, Todd Speciale right here, that was my dad. He died. He lived to 86 years old. My dad told me when I was a kid, I didn't give you everything financially in life, but I gave you love, which he did. We were the richest family in love, but we grew up with hardly any money. My mom worked a terrible amount of hours at Dillard's, at the department store. She got about a 20-cent raise every single year. You know, I didn't want to be that family to my kids. And then when I started running card games and then got robbed at gunpoint, I lost the only thing that I knew how to do. I had to give permission to myself. Sometimes permission is forced though, isn't it, right? Sometimes you need that kick in the butt. So I started to tell my dad, I want to write a book. I want to write a book about how we grew up and what, like, these certain words like perseverance, right? Not the Webster's dictionary, but what it meant in my life. That's when I wrote this book, The Things I Do Know. See, the thing about this book, guys, I had to give my permission to fail. I had to give myself permission to get judged. I had to give myself permission, right, to misspell words because I self-published it. Dude, I write words in here that were wanna, W-A-N-N-A, wanna. Is that a word? Somebody said, Todd, you wrote the word wrong. No, I didn't. I wanted you to read it as if I was speaking it. My dad passed away. I'm holding his hand by his side, and I said, Dad, I'm going to write the book. You keep telling me to write. I know I've been procrastinating. I'm going to write it. He was so drugged up, he could hardly respond. I said, I'm going to write the book, and I'm going to go speak, because he asked me, you got to speak, Todd. You have a voice. You can tell people your story. You can help impact lives. I said, okay, Dad, I'm going to do it. Literally 2 days before he passed away, I tell him this. He can't respond verbally. His eyes are closed. He's back like this, and he squeezes my hand twice. When I told him, God, I get the chills talking about it now. It's like these squeezes changed my life. Write this down. Take a picture of it if you want. Number one, you got to own your scope. You have to own your scope, whether you're in sales, whether you're a PM, whether you're an engineer, whether you're looking for funding, whether you're looking to build your organization, whether you're looking to change something. You have to own your scope. You cannot be the person people follow or believe has a good idea unless you actually own your scope. How many people believe that you could learn more within your scope of work? Raise your hand. If you are not raising your hand, you are lying. How you doing? Can you learn more? Yeah, love that. Didn't raise your hand. I was just asking. All right, so here we go. Okay, you can learn more. The answer is yes. So you got to own your scope. What does that mean? Impact starts inside what you already control. See, I'm not talking about creating an idea that if you're not in sales, you're going to train salespeople how to be the best salespeople. I could never train an IT guy how to write code because I don't know how to write code. First, you got to own your scope. Second, you have to shrink the first step. The goal isn't to launch. It's the first step forward. And see, a lot of you believe that an idea is just an idea. It's only just an idea if you don't take the first step forward. So for instance, when she was talking about sales development, I said, send the email. That's the first step. What's the second step? The second step is easy, guys. Write down every single thing that you need to do in order to make your idea become a reality. Write it down. Post it someplace you can see it. It's got to be visual. The third step here, create signal and noise. Visible progress beats perfect plans. Let me tell you guys something. So many people wait until they have a perfect idea. Guess what? It's not perfect. And it never will be. See, visibility means what? Find someone you respect and share your idea with them. But a lot of you won't do that because you're scared of being judged. You're scared of whether it's the right time. You're not giving yourself permission to actually pour into someone because you don't want them to tell you that your idea is bad. Let's be honest with each other. I've had a lot of really bad ideas. It takes one. How do you think multimillionaires become multimillionaires? Do you think Pendo just came up with like 5 million people that came to the conference today? Somebody had an idea, dude. They created it. But see, the problem is within Pendo, you know what they want you to do? They want your ideas. I have talked to them. I have spoken to leaders. I have talked to HR. They want you are in an organization that actually cares. And that is an awesome thing. These things are very, very important, guys. So let's talk about owning your scope. Real quick, your power you already have. You don't need permission to improve what you already own. So what does that mean? If it's something that you're in, sales, IT, project management, fundraiser, yes, you can take pictures of this, guys. Go right ahead. You guys should own your scope. And if you don't own your scope, you got to be there. But guess what you don't need? You don't need permission. They've already hired you in that department. You don't need the title to have an idea. That's what I'm getting at. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Yes or no? I have an hour. I could train you guys for 4 days on this, and every single idea that you guys have in here, it would become a reality. And maybe 10% of them would actually be good ideas that we could implement. But the problem is you have to start. But you can't start without owning your scope. Most people wait to be invited to make a change. That's a big thing. A lot of us, we wait. Like if I'm your boss, hey, Joey, I'd really love you to do this. I've been thinking about this, this, and that. Would you mind starting that for me? Joe's like, hell yeah, shit, I'm right on it. Boom, gets on it, starts coming up with ideas, comes back because you feel like you're obligated to respond, yes or no. Here's the thing, there is no obligation other than to yourself and the person and people that you work with, not for. That's your obligation. If you're with Pendo and they've hired you for whatever role that you're in, you're already obligated to perform because they're paying you to do it, yes or no? Here's the thing. They also want your ideas because you're not obligated to sit there and just do the bare minimum every single day because that will stop you from getting a promotion, moving up into the organization, and maybe creating a better role for yourself and a better life for your family. So you have to start owning your scope, which I love to talk about. What about your family? See, a lot of you have ideas right now. Did any of you write down what your idea could do for your family? Yes or no? Raise your hand if you wrote down what your idea could do and how it would impact your family's life. Nobody? Weird. Here's the thing, guess what? We don't talk about it. Why? Because you're in a professional organization right now. So the problem is this. We sit there and we talk about our ideas. We want our peers to look at us. We want our leaders, we want our bosses, if you will, to look at us and say, man, that was a great idea, Joey. Congrats, keep going, dude. Well, guess what? If you get a promotion and you mean more money, does that change your family's life financially? Yes. It may not make you happier because money doesn't make you happy. People say they're lying, by the way. More money makes you happy. It's not, money is kind of the root of all evil, let's be clear. But I think we can all agree that if you have money, your life's a little bit easier than if you don't, right? I've been broke, trust me, I know. But the truth is we don't talk about how it can impact your family's lives. So what will it motivate you? Are you writing down why this idea is important? Is it just for Pendo? Is it for you personally? See, owning your scope is understanding your direction. And some of you don't. Some of you just think, well, this will benefit Pendo this way. How many of you people wrote down the 3 things that your idea will do to impact Pendo in a better way? Raise your hand if you wrote down 3 reasons it would impact Pendo in a better way. See, that's the first step. See, an idea is only an idea if you understand the impact of the idea. An idea is only an idea if you understand the impact of that idea. I don't need to say it again. If you guys have an idea today, you might walk out of here today and you may hate me, you may not like the way I speak, but I am very raw, I am very real. I told Pendo this before I got here. This is me. This isn't my idea. This is how multi-billionaires get paid. They create an idea, they talk about the impact it has on the business, they talked about the potential impact it could have on them personally, and then 3 reasons how it can impact their family. 3-3-3 rule. 3 reasons how it'll impact Pendo, how it'll impact you personally, and how it'll impact your family. If you're not writing that down, you should. Because those things will take you to another level when it talks about impacting your life and starting an idea. So I'll move on to the next one. Shrink the first step. Guys, it doesn't have to be a big step. You talked about funding, find another sponsor. You don't have to find a $1 billion sponsor, but isn't the first step just finding someone you can send an email to? Maybe a connect, a new prospect you can talk to? Is that the first step, yes or no? Is it? It's not. How about perfecting what you're gonna say? Be passionate. See, a lot of you talk about the features and benefits in every one of your positions. It's not just sales. I asked you guys earlier to raise your hand if you're in sales, and some of you did, some of you didn't. You're all in sales. You sold yourself to be in the position you are and the job that you have. You sold the person who was interviewing you that you're the right fit for the role. But what you're not doing is selling yourself an idea, because if you aren't selling yourself that you can actually grow, you're selling yourself to stay in the same stagnant position that you already are. See, we're all in sales. Your first step has to be small. Shrinking is better than stalling. We don't have to have a business plan to start a business. You know how I started MSGA Consulting? You know what I did? I called someone who thought they needed sales training, and I convinced them that they did. That was the first step. I didn't even have a federal tax ID. I had nothing, and I did it. So the problem is that some of us start and we think that we need this big plan when you don't. Next, create signal, not noise. Guys, I want you to write down right now before you go, 1 person you trust that you can share your idea with where you don't think there's going to be someone that makes fun of you. You respect them enough that you care about their opinion. It does not have to be a leader. It doesn't have to be in Pendo. Write this down before you go. It does not have to be a leader. It does not have to be within Pendo. It can be, but it doesn't have to be. I want you guys to write that down right now. You have to have someone you can share the idea with. And little hint, sometimes they don't have to know crap about what you do. They don't need to know. Because that's what consulting is. I can go into Pendo right now and I can poke holes in this company like you would never believe. And guess what? Pendo can do the same with me. Because when you're in a company, you're tunnel vision. This is what they told me to do. This is how I should do it. This is what I should say. You learn that direction. Don't do that. You guys need someone that can teach you a different direction. So you have to create a signal and have vision. Early visibility beats late perfection. Guys, and the reason why you can share with people and help your idea is because if you don't do this and you don't share with them, you're not going to get feedback. Sometimes you're moving down a direction that's the wrong direction when it takes one response that can move you in the right direction. Finally, 48-hour promise. I want you guys in this room to promise yourself right now, everybody in here has a new idea. Pendo cares, you care, we've talked about this, we got serious about it, you wrote down how it will impact people's lives. You guys have the steps to take it to the next level. Whether you're new, like we've talked to a couple people in here before, or you're a leader at Pendo, they care about your idea, but you don't have to ask them permission if it's within your scope. You guys are the type of people in this room that they're paying. They hired you. They put you in a position because they believe in you. But some of you won't make those moves because we talked about it. Scared of failure, scared of judgment. You're worried about what they're going to say. Guys, 48 hours. If you don't put a time clock on an idea, it'll never start. I want you to understand that. You can have an idea. If you don't put a time clock on it, it's never going to start. You're just talking about it. That book I told you when I was laying next to my dad on his deathbed, 9 months, I wrote 3 chapters. My dad died, 2 squeezes. I finished it in 30 days and I was on a stage in LA. Never spoke before. It took 1 movement. Boom. That's it. Changed my life. Sometimes you need that love. You got to put it down. So first thing you need to do, take the first step you can control. You need to take a step that you can do within 30 minutes or less that's towards your action plan. That's what you guys need to do. Second or third thing you need to do, share it with someone you respect, and remove 1 permission-based bias blocker. That's what you guys need to do. Whatever the blockers were that you wrote down, I want you guys to come up with a solution on making sure that you can get rid of that blocker. Are we all in agreement? Yes or no? Yes or no? Cool. Listen, last thing here, real win. Told you guys about this. You didn't leave with more ideas. You already had ideas. Finally, take a picture of this. These are the takeaways today, guys. We talked about this. 6 takeaways. I want you guys to pull out your cameras. Take a picture of this. 6 steps. This is very important. Ideas that you have can become a reality without asking for permission to move forward. But the problem is if you're not following these steps and you're not using these takeaways, I promise you, your idea will never become real. It's just an idea. An idea is not an action. So there's small steps to move forward. I'm giving away free books. I'm giving away these guys here. I got 3 of them. Anybody want free books? Mindset book? Raise your hand and want free books over here. We'll do one over there in the back if you can catch it. Hopefully that's HR. Hope I don't kill somebody. Anyway, free book, free book. Okay, all the way in the back. There you go. If you guys want to afterwards, come back. I'll sign it with you guys. I'll sit down and talk with you. I'm going to be here all day. You guys want to have a conversation? Do it. Last thing I'm going to ask. Everybody stand up real quick. Everybody stand up. When I say no permission, you say just progress, okay? And we're going to do it 3 times, and you have to go absolutely insane, or I promise you, Madison and Kenrika are never going to ask me to come back. Maybe that's what you want. I don't know. But we're going to find it out right now. Everybody got it? Yeah, I'm 50. I have this much energy. Ready? 1, 2, 3. No permission! Thank you guys for having me. You're welcome.